Hi everyone, coming on to do some quick crafting. I've not been feeling too great today, so I've been in my bed most of the morning trying to recuperate from this dastardly chronic fatigue. So, feeling well enough. Hi Wendy, how are you? I'm coming on to make a wedding card and show you all my little treat to myself. Got a little personalised mouse mat and a little coaster. Isn't it adorable? Oh, I am good to myself. Right. So, I'm not sure how many is on. I can't see on my screen. We've got 2. Hi there. Okay, right, let's get this wobble out the way. Now, what I'm going to recreate, but using different DSP, is this bird ballad themed wedding card. And this is using one of our annual catalogue items, the Wonderful Moments. So we're using this stamp. Hi Janice, my lovely, how are you? And we are using this sentiment here. I just need to, is the lighting okay? I've got 2 new lamps that clip onto my desk and they kind of blind me while I'm crafting, but oh, that's a bit better. That's better. So we're going to recreate this card, and it's just really to remind people not to forget about the annual catalogue items that you may have in your stash, such as a beautiful Bird Ballad Designer Series paper, our lovely pearlised doilies, which I'm going to use today. Thank you, Kathy. Hope you're well. And Janice, I am able to get comments, community comments on my YouTube stream. I contacted them about the lives, which I still can't get through my phone. So I've had to pay for a subscription for the month to stay live. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Yeah, it's been a tough few days. I haven't even got any blogs on today or for any of the rest of the week, but I'm not putting pressure on myself because I'm just done in. But I'm feeling well enough to craft today. Oh yeah, I forgot you were in the USA, Janice. What time is it over there? Are you ahead of us? I think you're behind, aren't you? So you'll be Friday night, possibly? Or very early Saturday morning? How fab. Right, so I'm going to use, because I don't use it a lot, this shimmery white A4 cardstock as my card base. I don't know if you could see the sparkle. 7:30 Saturday morning. Oh, fab. So you've still got a whole day ahead of you. How awesome. I hope you're having fun. Yeah, you should bring some sunshine back. It's absolutely freezing here. Right, I'm just going to cut this down. It is shimmery on both sides, which is awesome. So I'm going to cut it down to 5 7/8. And I need to keep a piece out for my sentiment. So we'll just pop it out the way there. And then we're going to score it at 4 1/8 of an inch. Like so. Okay, let me get my bone folder out because this is thicker card. It is thicker card. Right. Now, what I want to do, first and foremost, is I want to stamp and position this lady directly onto my cardstock. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to use the stamp that is to date because I do want a good thick stamped line. Just keep those magnets away from each other. So I'll pop that there and pop that there. And I also want to make sure that I'm stamping straight because I've never stamped directly on top of this shimmery paper before. Trying to see how many is on. 2 guys, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for popping on. I'm being sporadic, Janice. I don't know why I'm doing that because it needs to go on my It needs to go on my Stampin'Up. Hang on till I get a cloth, guys. Oh, too busy blathering. Too busy blathering. Right, let me start that again. What a donut. Right, ignore the big block. I want to position it on my card like so, and then pick it up with the Stampin'Up here. And then I'm going to ink it up. Give it a good inking and stamp. You can see it hasn't quite stamped right, so I'm glad I chose to use the Stampin'Up. I think I need to apply more pressure. I am using the new fancy foam mat that's underneath. Right, so that's that stamped, and I'm happy with the density of that black Memento ink, so I'll just pop this away. This is a lovely set. I think I might make some more cards like this, but put some newer DSP for their dresses. I think that's what we'll do. Right, I need to actually keep that stamp out. Right, so the next stage, I take that off of there, is that I want to stamp the lady on here as well. Now, I don't need her head in the shot because if you see from this card here, yeah, it's a fancy foam mat and it's wipeable, which is awesome. The dress, we're going to cut out DSP, so we'll fussy cut it out, and it only goes up to the, is that the Bardot section, would you call it? The bodice section, so I don't need to actually stamp her head on it. So I'll get the stamp out. I'm just going to get my magnets here and here, and we're just going to stamp her on there, like so. And this, I'm stamping directly on the paper because it gives me the, let me straighten that up. I need a good outline for the fussy cutting, so. We're bad for each other, Wendy, aren't we? Because I see something and I think, oh, I like it, but I'm not going to buy it. And then I see some other demonstrators using it, and then I end up buying it. Oh, we're our own worst enemy. We are enabling each other to spend money. That's what we're doing. Right, just trying to see how many's on. That's fine. Right, so we've stamped that. I'm going to take that off and I'm going to wipe this. Ta-da! Nice and clean. Nice and clean. And I can finally put that stamp away. So let me pop it out the way. Pop this out the way as well. Somewhere in my messy desk. Right, so what I want to do now is I want to get a pen. Okay, and you can see I want the dress coming out here and down here. So with a marker, I'm just going to roughly cut. We'll put in my lines. So if I marry that up, it needs to come all the way down to about here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that on the trimmer now. Let me get half of that out of the way in the meantime. And then I'm going to cut a little bit longer than needed, just in case I measure it wrong. Okay. So we now need to get our scissors. And we are basically going to just cut out the outline of the dress. If my hands will work, honestly. So how is everybody today anyway? I hope you're all well. Now I'm cutting out our bodice as well. Keeping in the black. lines. And then what happens is, because I don't have black around there, I would just add some ink around the edges, either directly off your ink pad or using a Stampin'Up marker. I am going to have to do it off of my ink pad today though, because my crafty goods are all hidden away. So you'll see how we get that there. I'm not worried about this because this is going to be covered with a little border down here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some black around the edge from my memento, or I think I could, if I get my little, you're probably thinking, what are you doing that in black for? Well, it needs to have the same outline as the rest of the stamped. Here it is, I found it. Yeah, everything in my craft room is absolutely everywhere. Except my desk. My desk's intact. I managed to paint down the side of it, no problem. So you can see how it's just keeping the the border the same as the rest. And it also takes away any little cut marks or any white that possibly could show through. Right, so that's that done. Pop that away till I need it later. Put my little dauber somewhere safe. And we are simply going to add the beautiful dress on there. But first of all, I do need to colour. So let's see, what did I use for the last lady? I used some crumb cake for the body tone, the light crumb cake, and then the dark for her hair. So I think I'll repeat that today. All of my Stampin' blends are actually mixed up just now. Yeah, so that's the light crumb cake. So I'm just going to colour her skin. So we've got her arm here as well. And a little bit of face there. Just going to add some shading. Love it, love it. And then we are going to go dark crumb cake for her hair. So it's easy, just fill it out, colour it in, I mean, like so. Gonna make it a little bit darker than that lady's one. Beautiful, and I'm happy that it's stamped nice on that white shimmery cardstock. I need to move my seat over, I'm a bit skew-whiffed today. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to glue this directly onto the card. So I have some my main multi-purpose glue here. Okay, so I'll just pick that up carefully, and we want to line it up on top of our stamped image, like so. You see how it is overlapping, but I'll trim that off, no problem. So if I just remove some of that glue, you can see how easy it is to kind of mask over. So I'm happy with that. Let me just trim it off. I'm whistling when I'm talking now. Oh dear, so how is everybody else? What have you been doing today? I'm doing this card because a lady that follows me, Valerie, had asked me to do a wedding card sometimes, so I thought, why not? Let me do that right now. Right now. Right, so the next stage is I have cut I should have said this is Blush and Bride, this colour, because it coordinates well with this DSP I'm using. So this is the same length as the card, which is 5 7/8, and it is half an inch long, half an inch wide. And what I've done was I used another annual catalogue item, the Be Mine Stitch Framelits, and I used this edging die, which is really lovely. So there's lots in here that you could incorporate into a wedding card or Valentine card. On the left card, I didn't actually use the dies. I just cut it. Okay, so the next stage is I have this silver trim ribbon that I'm going to use. Okay, now I don't want to wrap it all the way around and waste some of it, so I'm just going to cut and attach it to the border there. And this was recycled off of a lovely gift that I received. So I need the snail. The snail is really handy because it allows you just to add a fraction of adhesive to each side, like so. I'm also going to put a little bit in the middle here, just to kind of stabilise it. Okay, I'll add a bow later as well. So I just want that in the middle as best I can. Okay, now I'm just going to try my best to centre it, like so. Beautiful! Do you like that? Right, so we can attach this now, and I think I will add white glue on the inside and some more snail on the outside, on the edges rather, and that way we can make sure it's going to stick. And you can see how it covers the edge of the dress fine. Now, you need to make sure it is lined up, obviously. It's not overlapping. Great. Do you think that's pretty? What do you think? Nice, nice, nice. And this will complement the lovely little pearlised doilies. So the next stage is to cut one of these in half. You could use your scissors, or you could use your mini guillotine or your trimmer. I'm just going to use this. Okay, so I'm simply just going to chop it in half. So you can get 2 projects out of one doily. These have lasted me ages, absolute ages. So they're pearlised on the top and then they're whisper white on the back. So you could use it either way. It's entirely up to you. So that's going to be glued on there. And then I'm going to punch out some cardstock. So I need a layer of petal pink. And for the sentiment section, I'm using to punch out, I'm using a 2 1/4 inch punch for the back or the matte layer, and then I'm going to use the 2 inch to squeeze my arms. I'm going to use a 2 inch to punch out a piece of the same cardstock that I used on the card, which is the if I can find it. I've got too much stuff on my desk. It's the shimmery white. I'm just going to pop that away because it is a little bit more expensive than normal whisper white, but that's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're going to layer that up. The sentiment I've chosen is the one that says congratulations and best wishes for a future filled with love and happiness. There's one here that says celebrating a special day with a special wish, but I think the one I've chosen is more wedding themed, so that's absolutely fine. Now, before I do that, I want to colour in her flowers. Now I'm going to go with light balmy blue, because there is a tinge of blue in this designer series paper that I'm using. I think that will complement it quite well. Brilliant. Right, so what we want to do is we want to stamp on here, and I am going to stamp, in Blushing Bride, which coordinates with the the card stock I've used down the border there. I am going to use the Stampin' Ups again because I want to make sure that I'm getting a good print again. Okay, so just centre that on there. That looks fine. Lift it up. And I'm just going to apply the ink off camera just now. I do like that. I love it. It's a beautiful sentiment. Absolutely beautiful. And that is it, easy peasy. If I was feeling a bit more confident with my hands today, I would have just stamped that normally. But, like I said, I've not been 100% for a few days, so I'm not going to make a fool of myself. Right, okay, let me pop this stamp away. Smashing. So we're using various things from the annual catalogue. So this is going to be on there. That is going to be on here. And you can see how it's coming together quite nicely. Now this is cut too short, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that and I'm going to use a full doily. I forgot because I was using the bigger punch. There we go. Because I was using the bigger punch, you can see how I need it cut slightly differently. So what I'm going to do is I just need to eyeball where to cut it, and I'm going to eyeball it there. So that will go there, and the thing is we don't want it too near our little lady's head. So if that was there, that was on there, pull it out slightly. I'm trying to marry it up with this ribbon. See, that's nice. Right, let me get that down a bit. I'm just going to release the ribbon a little bit, just to secure this roughly where it's going to be, like so. That will go there, and that will go on the top. Brilliant. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep that in position. I'm just going to add some glue. I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper, and I'm just going to press that down. We're not going to see the glue because we're popping a 2-inch doodah on the top, like so. And it is quite flush with the edge, but it doesn't matter. I do like that. I do like that. Right, okay. Let's get this stuck on. So this goes here. And this goes on there. Now you need to make sure it's straight and not overlapping at the side here. Lovely jubbly. Are we still live? Yes, we are. We are. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so all we need to do now is add some flourishes. Now these are fussy cut flowers from this DSP, so I am going to utilise them in here. And I've got some that have the petal pink in it. So I have two here, and I want to see which one. I think the smaller one would suffice. I don't think this card actually needs a bow. I may add one at the back here, but I'm not too sure. So let's get this one stuck down, and I think I'll use a dimensional. I think a large normal dimensional will fit in there fine, yep. It just gives it some more 3D effect. So I'm just going to pop it there and take the eye away from where that doily goes under the ribbon. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I am going to actually cut this, and I'm going to attach it to, this could be the lady's, the bride's flowers that she's holding. Yep. So I'm going to cut away the green and just use a little pink. The pink flower and the pink bud. See, like this, it could actually be like a draping. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Like a draping bouquet. That's the word I'm looking for. And it doesn't matter that there's a wee petal in here because we're going to add some more. And the petal goes with this colour over here as well. So it's all coordinating. So this one, I think I'll just tuck under like so. Beautiful. Move this over slightly like that. Okay, now I'm just going to remove that excess glue that's here. There we go. I think that looks quite pretty. Are you just waking up, honey? Oh, hi Rachel. How are you all? We are just recreating a card. This one. Just to kind of revisit the annual catalogue supplies that we all forget about because we're so engrossed in all the beautiful products from our mini catalogue just now. Right, I'm going to utilise this little scrap because I don't want to throw it out. I'm going to pop it up there. Okay, and it'll just overlap slightly. These papers are far too pretty to discard. And it overlaps a little bit, but that's all right. You can trim that down if that bothers you, but... Okay, so the next bit we need to do is add some rhinestone jewels. So let me pop everything out the way. I'm using the basic rhinestone jewels. And what we're going to do is we are going to add 3 on the back of our bodice, like I did in the other card. So they're just going to be added directly on top of each, well, above each other. Like so, can you see it? Do like that. We're also going to add some of the smaller ones too into these flowers. You can never use too many jewels, that's just pung somewhere. Oh, I've got it. Especially on a wedding card. These are brilliant. Isn't it adorable? Adorable, adorable. And the inside is blank. Now, I am going to layer the inside because you can see that the markers come through. Okay, so if I just grab my fancy paper again. Now I'm going to line it with the same shimmery white because no expenses spared if it's a wedding card. So this, we need 2 pieces that measure, I'm going to cut it a long way so I can get the 2 bits out of it, 4 by 5 3/4. So I need 2 pieces of that. Great. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to round the corners just this side and this side. So it's top right and bottom right. And I've got this lovely punch and that just gives it an extra bit of elegance. Like so, which means on the inside I need to do the same but on opposite sides. So that piece can go in there, and it doesn't matter what way I do it as long as it's on the one side, because you can flip this paper and that one on there. Beautiful. Then we could possibly put a little sentiment in the middle as well. And the inside, I mean. Don't need a lot of glue. So I'm going to work from there in the way. Love it. And I have mispunched this. Give me a second. It's better. And we need the glue on this side. Oops, went off the edge there. Thank you, Rachel. So we're just lining this because the Stampin' blends do seep through the paper. And if you wanted to go all out fancy, you could pop some ribbon in there as well, which I may do. Yeah, why not? Why not? So, all I've got to do is run some of this snail. If I can do it the right way. What way does it go? This way. Oh, I love that sound. Ta-da! And then I'm just going to very carefully place the ribbon directly down the card. Snip it off here. Like so. I've got a little frayed bit there. Let's get rid of that. Beautiful, beautiful ribbon this is. I don't even think this is available now. But there are other alternatives that you can use. So, I think that's even prettier than card number 1. What do you think? I think so. I think so, I think so. Right, so we need to stamp in the middle. So, congratulations and best wishes for a future filled with love and happiness. And I am going to add another layered section in here. It's just a shame I don't know anybody that's getting married, because it would be a beautiful card for them. Okay, so I'm going to stick this in and I'm going to layer it and put another sentiment on the inside. Oh, hang on, there's some die cuts still popping out of this. So I'm just adding some glue in the obvious places where there's more coverage. And pop that, make sure it's in the centre. Okay, so I need another piece of Blushing and Bright. In fact, I'm going to use a piece of this to layer the inside this time that matches with the outside. Da, 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 da. Okay, and this also means I need another piece of shimmery white for the stamping layer. I love these punches, they're so quick and easy, especially if you're not into die cutting. Right, now this is a directional paper because it is a, I think it's a blossom tree. Not sure, not sure. Hi Jane, how are you? Right, we're just going to pop it there. Oh, but basically Jane, we've recreated a card I made last year using the Bird Ballad suite. So I'm revisiting that today to create a different, well, a kind of upped version. And it's all the products of the current annual catalogue, rather than focusing on our mini catalogue products. So I think this is prettier than the first one. They're both nice. So what I've done, because I used blends, it's seeped through and I've added a layer on the inside, and this is shimmery white cardstock, and it's really lovely. Oh, thank you, hon. Okay, so this will go in here for the next sentiment. Now, let me see. I'm wondering what I can put on the inside. I do have a stamp already mounted onto my block from the Peaceful Moments, but I'm not sure. The fonts are maybe too different, but you know what? I'm just going to try it. I do think it's a nice sentiment. And it says, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. So I need the Petal Pink again, which I've already... No, Petal Pink. Blushing Bride. Blushing Bride. Oh, that's good, hun. Thank you. Feel free, feel free. Right, I'm just going to pop this on. Now I'm going to take it down a bit. I want to make sure it all fits in my circle, and it just fits. Yay! Lovely, lovely. Now this may clash a little against the same colour background, but I'm going to just run the circle through my ink before adding it onto here. We need to make sure this is straight. I seem to be at the left side. It's because my craft room is all changed about a bit, and I've got a sofa bed behind my chair. I'd normally kind of be working here, but I'm kind of shifted. I'll need to reposition my camera for sure. Okay, so let me pop this away. How are we doing for time? How long have I been yapping? Hopefully not too long. Feeling much better now. Let's see, what does it say? I can see. I need to do this to see the screen. It doesn't tell me how long I've been talking. Oh yeah, it does, down here. 29 minutes. Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Oh, 36. Oh. That's not too bad neither, I suppose. Yeah, so that's the cards. This was my first attempt last year, and you used like basic twine and smaller circles because I coloured onto Whisper White and then attached that to the card. There was no seeping through, but I feel I've really stepped this one up. So I changed the colour from Petal Pink to Blushing Bride, and I used the two larger circle punches, used more of the doily as well, added this Whisper White silver trim ribbon, and I added a different DSP. I used a different DSP than the last one, but from the same Bird Ballad suite, which is beautiful. And I think they're both gorgeous, but I do like this one because it is a little bit more fancier. So, yeah, so that is it for today. I'm still in my pyjamas, and I haven't had anything to eat today because when I get so fatigued, I can't even eat. It just makes me worse. It's almost like digesting the food is too much when I'm that weak. But I have had 2 coffees since getting up, and I'm seriously thinking about driving to McDonald's. My husband and the boys are at football. Yeah, definitely, Jane. So my older son, he's actually way down to Newcastle with my father-in-law and his cousin to watch the Newcastle game. And my husband, Ricky, and Ricky Jr. are away to a local game over the park to watch Thornton Hibs. So I'm getting peace and quiet. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're wanting to watch and replay, give it 5 minutes or so, because there's always a delay in it actually uploading properly to show as a proper video. For those of you that joined me late, can I quickly show you what I treated myself to today? Well, yesterday, and it came today, I treated myself to a mouse mat with my new logo and details on them, and then I also treated myself to a little coaster. If you can't be good to yourself, who's going to be good to you? So I love it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I really, really, really appreciate you coming on, and I'll speak to you all soon. A little bit wobble while I turn this off. Just give you a little close-up while I end the video. Bye now.